Here are some highlights from a recent Performance Playbook workshop that we hosted on the topic of profitability, inventory optimization, and pricing optimization. To view the full video of the full workshop, click the link in the description. So let's dive into the first topic, which is building a profitability playbook. Now, many of the organizations that we come across, they don't have a formal profitability playbook. Instead, they have a series of initiatives that they are working on to improve profit performance. And there's a difference between initiatives. They tend to be more episodic projects with a start and an end. And initiatives, they tend to be, let's say, siloed across organizations into very specific parts of the business. Whereas a playbook, if you went through the effort to formalize it, it provides a more holistic approach to profitability across the entire organization. And a playbook helps to build capabilities across your teams, and it helps to motivate your team members to change the way in which they are doing things, so the change management aspects, and do things differently. And it helps to improve profit performance on an ongoing basis year over year. So let's talk a little bit about the changes that have occurred. Another reason to formalize profitability playbook for your organization is because a lot has changed in the past 4 years. And that rate of change, it's not slowing down. You know, things look very different today than they did in 2019. And they will look very different 3 years from now. So in the channel, we are hearing a lot of people comment. You know, operating in 2024 is much like operating in 2019. It's going back to the way they used to do things. Now, we are witnessing companies go back to their familiar tactics from 2019, and we would caution you not to fall back into that trap. You know, many things have changed since 2019, and those changes are dictating different strategies and tactics to be successful moving forward. More importantly, this poses a new opportunity to do things differently from your competition, who likely may be reverting to their legacy tactics. So this is a great time and a great way to steal market share and to never have to give it back. So let's dive into the profitability framework. Here's the framework for your modern profitability playbook. It's structured around addressing 5 critical challenges organizations face today. Feel free to personalize this to your organization, whether you are a manufacturer or a distributor. These aspects are transferable and will help the channel work together in a more effective manner. So to overcome these challenges, organizations need to build new capabilities. This will require that your teams get better at leveraging data and analytics. That is the underpinning to all of this, right? And building new capabilities. So let's dive into the first challenge. Challenge number 1, how to maintain record high profits. That's a big question. The capabilities required to address this challenge will be implementing enterprise profitability controls. Now, the objective in doing this is, in building these controls, is to develop a end-to-end strategy that enables your team to both maintain and grow revenue and profit. Some examples of some key actions and initiatives that would be taken here are, number 1, doing a process evaluation to see where you have, or to see where you lose margin across your purchasing, your selling, your servicing aspects of your business. Now for manufacturers and distributors, this could be just doing a margin leakage analysis, right? Or looking at cost to serve analysis across your inventory, your products, and your customers. And the more advanced you are at this, the more you can start to see or use a data cube to where you get really pinpointed with where there are losses and where there are gains. Now for distributors, this could mean moving more capabilities to to be more corporate-led versus branch-led. And this is an evolution for a lot of firms, but bringing more of that capability back to corporate could help really implement some of those enterprise profitability controls and whatnot. Or even creating a manufacturing workbench is another common strategy that we deploy here to help distributors claim every dollar that is potentially earned. So all of these are great examples of what you would see within this first portion of the playbook here, and all of them are going to require the use of getting more advanced with your data and analytics capabilities. So let's move to the second challenge. Challenge number 2, how to maintain unit volume sales. The capabilities required to address this challenge will be market development, your ability to effectively steal market share. You know, the objective in building stronger market development capabilities is to plan to grow revenue and take share with your customers and with your product expansion. You know, you could grow share with existing customers using new products, using new lines, improved services. You could use market level pricing here. But the end-all be-all here is partnering with strategic manufacturers if you're a distributor, use customer-specific programs, and use pricing to help you drive market development here. Another way to look at this is existing customer programs versus new customer acquisition programs. Market development is going to require that you get really good at hunting and really good at entering in new territories and bringing new customers into your distributorship. And you know, distributors could leverage their resources and partnerships with their strategic suppliers to really help drive new customer acquisition into their distributorships. Let's move on to our third challenge, which is how to prevent lowering prices. This requires capability around building pricing controls. And the idea here is you want to be able to build pricing programs that maximize gross margin without curtailing top-line sales growth. Now, we're going to dive really deep into this topic a little bit later today, but some of the key actions here that you're going to want to consider are looking at both customer and product segmentation. So using an A, B, C, D segmentation strategy to really pinpoint where there are opportunities to actually raise prices and where there are opportunities where you can recognize that you're capturing higher margins. So with a segmentation strategy on both levels, you're going to be able to really get creative and empowered here across your teams. So this is another one where it does require using a lot of advanced data and analytics, but we'll dive into this later. So let's move on to our fourth challenge, which is how to maintain rebate dollars. Now, the capabilities required on this one are going to be for distributors to really build active category management capabilities. And then on the flip side for manufacturers, it's going to be, we're going to need to get really strategic on who you're giving rebate dollars to and what some of those programs are going to look like. So for the distribution side of it, active category management really entails trying to build up your teams to where there's consistent focus on it. And a lot of times that means moving away from just having individual buyers at branches and moving into more of a corporate level capability where you're creating strategic, preferred, and regular-based suppliers. You're creating this segmentation strategy where you're getting the best terms, the best deals, and the best resources out of your key suppliers. And then on the manufacturing side, try and work your way through to become that top-tier supplier when it comes to working with your distribution partners. So that strategic level, you're going to get the best programs from that distributor. You're going to get the best opportunities and maybe be able to convert the majority of their share from your product categories into your brand. You want to convert that away from your competitor's share. So let's move into the fifth challenge, which is how to maintain cash flow and operating capital. And this is going to require building capabilities around inventory optimization. And this is another topic we're going to dive into in our next segment here. Jay's going to walk us through some fantastic strategies of what you can actually deploy within your playbook on how you can create best practice programs. We're going to dive a little bit into, doing inventory segmentation and then trying to establish best practice benchmarks on where you need to be with your A's, your B's, and your C's, and rebalance inventory to be able to use that working capital in new ways to drive more velocity around your A items and B items. So as a distributor, it's a very effective way to not only redeploy your working capital, but increase unit volume growth. So if you're a manufacturer working with distributors, just be mindful that if you're bringing your data into what your A's, B's, and C's are to key distributors based on the region that they're serving, you can both drive unit volume growth by focusing on putting more of the A's and B's in inventory to where it's that same day, next day inventory for the distributor. And that's going to help both parties really drive unit volume growth here.